Hi, this is Mr. Orr with Lesson 5 in the use of the TI-83 and 84 graphing calculators. Today we're going to be looking again at programming, and this time we're going to program a mathematical formula. This will be the midpoint formula. Now, that's a simple formula. You may recall from a coordinate grid that if you have 2 points, each with an x and y coordinate, to find the midpoint between the 2 points, you take the average of the 2 x values and then the average of the 2 y values. So the formula is actually x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. So let's go to program, and you'll see that I've already started this to save a bit of time in the video. But if you were starting out with a new program, you would go over here to New, and then you would hit Enter for Create New, and you would give your new program a name, and then you would start with the instructions. So I've already done that part, so I'm going to go to Edit and Enter, so I can edit my program. Now you'll see a few lines of code I've already entered here, which you'll understand in a moment. But what I want to do for the first line there is I want to display enter x1. So I go back to program, I go over here to input output, and you'll see display as number 3. So I hit a 3 and it brings it right up on the screen for me. Then I go to second alpha to get alpha characters, and I want to put in a quotation marks, enter, so I do ENTER, and then a space down here, and then I go alpha, and I need an X, and that's over here, and then a 1. All right. Oh, that didn't work. Let's back up. All right, let's try that again. If I, let's see, I need alpha, and here's my X, and then I have the 1, so I'll go past it, and I'll put alpha and a quotation mark. All right. Now I'm going to, because I started this program, it won't automatically take me to a new prompt, a new colon. So what I have to do is go second, insert, and then enter, and that gets me a new prompt. Now I want to put in input A. So I go back to program, over to input output, and input you can see is the very first one. So I hit enter, and now I want to input A. So I go alpha, and here's my A, and that's all I needed. Now here's what I have. The calculator is going to tell me to enter values for x1, y1, x2, and y2. But because the calculator doesn't deal with x1 and so on as variables, I have turned them into A, B, C, and D, which it can deal with. So now I will scroll down here to here and get a new line. And I now want to put in the formula itself. And that's going to be simply, there are two formulas to use. I'm going to add the values of the x and divide by 2. So I'm going to put in parentheses and then alpha, and this will be A plus over here. I got 2 pluses, so I'll back up. And then I need alpha and C, which is here. And then close parentheses, divide by 2 to get the average. And then I want to store that as another variable. So I'm going to hit store. Then I do alpha, and I need the x down here. So I'm going to store that value as x. I hit enter, and now I want parentheses B, so I do alpha B plus alpha D, and that's up here, over here, close parentheses, divided by 2, and I want to store that as y. So alpha y. Now I hit enter, and that's my program. So it's going to take A plus C, which you may recall were x1 and x2, add them up, divide by 2, and store them as variable x. Then b plus d, which were y1 plus y2, add them together and divide by 2, and store that value as y. Now I have to do another command, which is called clear home. So I go over to here, and I will find that as number 8. So I'm going to hit 8, and that just clears the screen before it gives me the values that I'm looking for. So I hit enter, and then I'm going to ask it to display the values that it's calculated. So I'm going to go to Program, over again to Display. Number 3 is Display, and I want x comma y, because those are the variables that were given to my answers. So alpha x, and then we have a comma, and then alpha y. All right, that will display my answer. Then I hit enter, and now I have to tell the calculator to stop because I'm done. So I will scroll down here until I find the word stop, which is some ways down here. I believe it's the letter F in the sequence. And there's D, E, F, and I went a little too far, so back to stop. I hit enter, and I have the word stop, and that's my program. Now I hit second quit to get out of it. Then I go to Program, and I want to execute this program, which is right here. So I stay there and hit enter. I hit enter again, and now notice it's asking me for an x1 value. Now I just arbitrarily picked a couple of points here, -7, 3, and 5, 11. So I'm going to enter -7, -7, and then enter. That was x1. Now I want y1, which is 3. So I enter a 3 and hit enter. Now I want the second x value, which was a 5. Here, hit enter. And the second y value, which is 11. Here, and hit enter. And if everything worked correctly, there is the midpoint, -1, 7. And there you have it. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.